Very good morning to everyone. First, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Salima Shimo, PhD researcher in the Manchester University, and I'm going to present my paper, which is a part of my PhD project, and it's supervised my respected supervisors Claudia Henninger, Jane Wood, and Courtney Grimes. So my topic is reimagining sustainability, a symphony of design and action. So the background of the study is, as we know that the global apparel market is expected to be worth 1.8 trillion USD in 2024, and which is consists of 1.63% world GDP. So it's huge. Why we are talking about sustainability in our fashion industry? Because the idea of fashion in sustainable way is becoming more widely accepted, but the changing behavior needs more attention for the effective collaborative efforts to overcome the challenges and to be sustainable in our fashion industry. And when we are talking about the sustainable fashion, the latest term, which is eco-design principles or eco-design implementation in fashion industry, is creating a role, vital role in design aspects, though product eco-design actually involves the utilizing of our eco-friendly materials, and which actually reduces the consumption and waste reduction as well, but without hampering any compromising of operations or any other modes of operation. So for achieving sustainability in fashion, we have to follow the European Union Circular Economy Action Plan, which is just talking about the all aspects of sustainability, and for this, particularly for eco-design in sustainable product regulations, which is regulated by the European Union in this year. So, yeah, the research aim of my study is to explore how the design may rethink entire system for a responsible and regenerative future, and what are the challenges to implement the eco-design in manufacturing aspect. So, to achieve this aim, the main research questions for my side is to what extent are Bangladeshi industries actually, my research context is particularly for Bangladesh scenario. So the geographical aspect of Bangladesh, we are talking about the Bangladesh textile industry, as Bangladesh is a leading exporter textile industry. So particularly to what extent the textile industry actually adopting this eco-design principles. So to explore these studies, the case study is exploratory in nature, and here is the illustration of the methodology. So the secondary data is collected from extensive literature review, and the primary data is from the qualitative semi-structured interview with practitioners, and the data is analyzed through thematic analysis, and findings were found from the responses of the practitioners. So the stakeholders who actually involved in participation in these case studies are the designer, manufacturer, retailer, and academia, and who all are in Bangladesh aspects, and they are working in Bangladesh, and their working experience is more than 5 years, and the geographical context is particularly Bangladesh. Oh. The contribution of this study is to find out the contribution. I explored more on the literature extensively in literature review for theoretical design strategies, and also the individual case studies with particularly addressing the fashion design sustainability topic, and interviewed 13 professionals, where 10 professionals belongs to manufacturer, retailer, designers, and through academia discussion in the interview session. So the findings of these case studies is there are a lot of themes actually found when data analyzed through thematic analysis, which is actually suggested by or discussion from the practitioners, stakeholders, and they are transparency issues, renewable material uses, awareness of the consumers, the modularity, design aspect, life cycle assessment. All these are actually come from the data analysis through the thematic analysis systems or approaches. And if I summarized all the themes here, so the reimagining sustainability through eco-design, we found a lot of data. The final themes are categorized in such a way that there is an interrelationship of sustainability dimensions, the designing for social equity and justice, regenerative design, positive impact, and also most importantly, the emotional connection and the consumer behavior, the life cycle thinking and the system approaches, collaborative action and multi-stakeholder engagement, which prioritizes more because to take some action to adopt any new issues or adopt in regulations, the collaborative action and stakeholder engagement is important. So, yeah, the theoretical dimensions from the generated themes. The themes are generated in two order. From the first order course, I found lot of themes, and these themes is categorized in the final themes, which is the innovation and circularity, regenerative design and positive impact, life cycle thinking, systems approach, so emotional connection. So all these themes actually comes from the responses of the participants. Few themes just response from the designer aspect. Few are both collaborative work. That means the manufacturer, brand, academia, all stakeholders responded. Few things, a few ideas, and also try to find out the barriers where the challenges occurs in Bangladesh to implement the eco-design in their design principles or in their manufacturing aspects. As Bangladesh is order-driven like industry, that means we are manufacturing and we just deliver the produced product according to the buyer requirements. So designers and top management in manufacturing units, they shared that they have a few chances to implement eco-design, rather buyer has no any requirements. So it's huge and big challenges for Bangladesh industry to adopt or to implement the eco-design principle. And also as the supply chain transparency is not so visible, and we are not actually offering, or we are not practicing the formal supply chain in all through our manufacturing sequences. So the informal supply chain sometimes create problems to implement it as well, because when eco-design adoption or implementation refers from the regenerative materials uses, so the background scenario or the status of the materials is unknown to the users or designers or the manufacturers, so it creates problems. So all the stakeholders or the participants suggest that there needs collaborative action or collaboration requires for the co-creation of solutions, though eco-design principles or eco-design implementation scenario is mostly related to designer, but in practical sense, it's not actually real or solely dependent on the designer's aspect, but also all the stakeholder engagement is required to take appropriate action, and also to implement these issues, government regulatory law and enforcement is required to implement in Bangladesh textile industries to implement this eco-design principles for more sustainable fashion business. So, yeah, what are the barriers for the Bangladesh to implement the eco-design principles in the textile industry. So we found a lot of barriers, maybe some related to cost, lack of awareness and education of consumers, the supply chain complexity, as the supply chain is not transparent. There are a lot of informal ways in supply chain, the regulatory challenges, because in Bangladesh, actually, there is no any strict regulations for using post-consumer recycle or recycling concept. They are just working on it, and it's in draft case, draft stage actually. So it's not strict regulations in Bangladesh right now. So we are hoping that it will adopt more, and they adopt a strategy for regulatory activities. And as we have weak law enforcement by government, so there is a lot of challenges to implement it right now, but experts hope that it will overcome soon. And the technical limitations as the order-driven delivery system. So it's a culture that buyer actually orders, and the manufacturer are just produce their products according to order. So it's a little gap to implement on the eco design right now. So what are the action or call to action to implement it? The experts suggest that lead the change, design for sustainability. So we have to change our mind, we have to change our culture, we have to be more collaborative, and we have to be more supportive in all aspects of stakeholder engagement in industry, and also adopt eco-design principles as soon as possible to implement these aspects in the fashion industry. And as it's a case study and a part of my PhD project, so there are a lot of limitations, and there are a lot of chance as well for the further research. And as the designer and recycling industry is or all the manufacturing industry is considered only on Bangladesh, but it would be a possible research in further for it by extending the participants in major producing countries like Vietnam, China, India, Pakistan, to compare the actual scenario of Bangladesh. And also the respondent of consumers group is not considered in these case studies, but there is a chance to add the consumers in this case studies for their consumers' behavior aspects for eco-design principles as well. And that's all to me. Thank you so much.